Like, let it go. Someone, someone, What's up, guys? Adam Patterson, as always, for the channel, back again out here in the gym. And I just had this idea pop into my head of doing too much. And the reason that it popped into my head is because I'm guilty of it. I've done it my entire life. I've done it every time that I've done something new. I get back into fitness, I get back into health and fitness, and all of a sudden I walk on the treadmill every single morning for like 30 minutes, burn like 200, 300 calories. And then I do a workout at night. And then at the same time, I worry like too much about what I'm eating and everything. And I never just focus on one. And because of that, it all becomes so overwhelming that I go, "Ooh," and I give up on it pretty easily. Now, what has helped me stay on task and on focus this year is I have really dwindled down what I'm focusing on. When it comes to business, I'm focused on one thing. I'm focused on how many leads I need to add in each day and then call them. That's what I'm focused on. And I know that if I do that, I'm going to end up at the goal that I want, which is my very big goal for the end of the year. When it comes to content and everything, when it comes to like LinkedIn, I have a goal of 6,000 followers. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but what I do know that I can do is I can post on there every single day. I have a goal on here of getting my message out to as many people as possible and getting as many impressions as possible. So what do I do for that? Because I would love to have 100 to 150 subscribers at the end of a year, or at the end of this year, at the end of 2026. I'm posting every day. And that doesn't mean that I'm focusing too much on the content, because the content it just has to do with my life and what I'm going through and what I'm building right now, which is, my business, my brand, and then myself, my body and everything. So it's really just business, health and fitness is really what this page is all about. And then just vlogs, which is just me. But, I'm pretty much those two things, is just a businessman and then somebody who works out. And I really love this point because when I first started the business, I was focused on too many things. I wanted more that I could probably chew off. And because of that, I focused on doing too many things. It was like, oh my gosh, I got a cold call over here. I got to send these emails over here. I got to go out and meet these people. I got to go to these networking events. I got to go do this. I got to go do this. And I was never really focused on one thing that could actually move the business forward. So it's easier to talk about in fitness because you can point to so many things. Because when I started working out this time, all I did was focus on lifting again. And because I've started focusing on lifting again, I'm now back addicted to it. I love this feeling that I get from being out in the gym and actually putting in work on the weights. And because I put in work on the weights, all of a sudden everything else starts to seem to flow afterwards. I didn't focus on the food. I didn't focus on the diet. I focused on getting back to doing the work, because the diet will take care of itself. I can go in there and I can make some food, or I can be lazy and make no food. That makes no difference to me, but I can't be lazy and work out. You know what I mean? I can't sit on the couch and work out. I'm choosing one or the other. So I focused on the thing that I could take advantage of right away, which was I can get out here and work out. And I got myself back in the groove of lifting weights again. And I've always loved lifting weights. And when I don't love lifting weights, it's because I'm not recording it. I'm not being serious about it. I'm not actually focused on it. I'm just doing it to do it. Now I'm doing it with a goal. I have an idea of what I want to look like. I have an idea of where I want my traps to stand up to. I have an idea of how thick I want my neck to be. I have an idea of how much I want my pecs to be popping out on my shirt, everything. But the focus is on the lifting. It's not so much on the diet or anything else. That is what you need to do, because when you start to do too much, it becomes something that is not sustainable over time. You'll never be able to do it for a long period of time. And as I've talked about in past videos, in order to be successful at anything, you're going to have to be able to do it for a very, very long time. You're going to have to work very, very hard at it in that very, very long time that you're doing it. So you need to bite off in small pieces, because since I got back into lifting and I do it seriously now, all of a sudden I want to eat better again. I don't eat as much sugar anymore. I don't eat as late into the night anymore. There's foods that I just no longer consume. I used to be absolutely hard on candy. Now I hardly eat candy at all. I used to eat ice cream and drink milkshakes every time that I went out to a restaurant. Now I just drink water. And it's not because it's just because I just don't want to anymore. It doesn't fit with the higher goal that I have, which is I want to look a certain way and I want to feel a certain way. And I know that as soon as I consume those things, I'll still do it in moderation every now and again, but it's not every time that I go out to eat. It's not every time that I sit down. And it's certainly not every night that I'm eating candy anymore, which it was before. And the changes have already started to come. I can see it in the mirror. I can feel it in my body. I can see it in the camera. And I can see the changes in my business too. When I'm focused on adding new companies and calling new companies, opposed to just not doing much or just reaching out to past companies, which I'm still doing, by the way. I didn't give up reaching out to older companies. I just focused on adding in more new companies and calling them. And the changes are crazy, guys. This year has already been more successful than last year, which is crazy to say because it's just now entered February and I started this business in February of last year. So this year is already going to be a much bigger success than last year, and last year was a massive success. And that is just what happens when you focus on the right things. You focus on one thing and you do that with all of your ability. And as long as it doesn't even have to be the right thing, but when you focus and you dial down, because when you're just beginning, you want to toss yourself into so many different buckets because you don't know what'll work. But once you kind of figure out the secret sauce and what's going to happen and what's going to make it work for you, you can just dial in. You can focus on one or two things, and all of a sudden, you're going to have a world of difference. So that is what the point of this is just don't spread yourself too thin. Keep yourself in small buckets, very contained, and focus and dial into what is actually going to move the needle for you. And all of a sudden, you're going to see just absolute things just take off for you. I'm seeing it myself, and I appreciate every single day that it happens. But it's everything I had for you in this one, guys. I got to get back to this workout. I've wasted too much time here. This is talking 7 minutes. My goodness. Yeah, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. I always love to hear feedback or what you have to say. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. There's always more videos coming. Post every day, guys. Have a good one.